You are now, by virtue of your son, a family caregiver. And one question that people have and that has come to me is, what steps would a President Romney take to support families and family caregivers, given the pressures that are often there with respect to the workplace, juggling all the demands, never mind the financial demands? Is there some leadership there to be discussed as well from the presidential level?
Well, a lot of those discussions in my mind come into play as we look at Medicaid and look at Medicaid going forward. And as a disabilities community, as we identify what are those must-haves in Medicaid for every state, that we look at some of that support that is needed for families and put the commitment in the Medicaid program.
We're almost out of time. Just a couple quick others. Again, thinking of coal, you know, we heard earlier about efforts to encourage and help people with disabilities go on to college, go on to higher education, to fulfill their dreams. What more can be done to ensure college graduates with disabilities that A, they have opportunities in school, and B, opportunities in the job market?
Well, in my mind, that is the next frontier. We've made so much progress when you look at early intervention, when you look at what's going on in the K-12, and yes, there's more work that needs to be done, but one of our big focuses needs to be on that transition after high school, after the individual turns 21. And there's some legislation, the TEAM legislation that Representative Harper has introduced, that is providing more training, more support for those types of individuals to get them into higher education. There's universities and colleges around the country. George Mason is one near Washington, D.C., that is making the commitment to opening the door for those with disabilities. And many of the interns that are on Capitol Hill come from George Mason University. And as more universities do it, I think that's a great example, and we need to encourage more of those types of efforts.
We're almost out of time, and I know you have to move on, but in order to be fair, in order to hear what you've got to say, I want to ask you the same question I've asked the others. If you were sitting there with those presidential candidates on October 3rd for that first debate, they'll be talking about domestic policy, they'll be talking about where and how dollars get spent, they'll be talking about where and how we get people back to work. What would your question be with respect to the disabilities community to Barack Obama and Mitt Romney?
Right. My question would focus on jobs and how are we going to open up the door of opportunity for more people in this country that have a disability to be employed, and to think beyond the traditional jobs that have been made available to those with disabilities, that we think about what they have to offer, really identify what those employment barriers are, but recognizing that, you know, over 1 million people in this country with disabilities have lost their jobs. It's 10 times the normal unemployment levels. So I would ask them, what are they going to do to open up the doors of opportunity for those with disabilities to work in America? Because, as I said earlier, a paycheck is so much more than just, or a job is so much more than a paycheck.
Congresswoman McMorris Rodgers, thank you so much for representing Governor Romney, for answering these questions, and for addressing this group here today. Appreciate it, and all the best with everything that you're doing on the job, at home, and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank. Thank you.